Now, that was a long, tough match. There was an injury concern for Mapasa. Do they have the stamina, holding power to see themselves through today? And the crowd's going to play a part, surely.
Right. I feel that at least they know what they're up against, not just because they've had a win, but if we just take the ages relatively, it might feel for Mapasa that she's playing two Angela Yuis on the other side. Because the two Indonesians are very much exploring the power game.
True.
And you should when you're around 21, 22.
Yeah, of course. Listen to that. It's great to see. It's full house here. Just about.
Love all. Play.
Well, straight through that one, Pratiwi, right between the players. That's a solid start there, isn't it?
Well, you do that all the time, especially against left-hander and right-hander combination.
This crowd will cheer every single point that the Australians score.
So serve always tells you the player's state of mind. She's feeling good. And it was a good decision on top of that.
That one, will it stay in? No, it won't.
Service over. 2-all.
Well, coming into this,
so I said the Indonesians exploring their power game. So the serves were telling us it's reminders for the Australian pairs how much power they're dealing with. So you might as well find out early in the first 5 points.
yeah, get a feel for it. Kusuma and Pratiwi have played just about double the number of matches that this Australian pair have played overall as a pairing. 123 to 61. Just short of Angela Yu, whose expression says that she feels she probably should have done better with that.
I had question marks a couple of months ago how well Mapasa and Yu would do against a power game. But now that we've seen them play against Matsuyama and Shida,
and almost take them.
Well, I guess not the almost take them, but the fact that they're comfortable with it.
Right.
They've seen it, so it can't be more powerful than that.
I mean, yeah, you're talking right at the top of the tree, aren't you? Right up there.
That's right, former world number 2s, very close to number 2 still.
We're talking about the world number 27 pair here against Indonesians who are world number 18. So this would be a big scalp. They've already, as I said, have beaten them before. It's been a good year. They've had very, very similar results this year. Well, I thought that might have actually gone out. It's been called in. As we await this, just to tell you that Mapasa and Yu have played 23 matches, as have Kusuma and Dwipuji, 15 wins to 14 wins this year.
Correction out. Service over. 4-all.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was out.
It was out. Well, just looking at the trajectory, it looked like it would sail out. And there's no drift in this hole, or very negligible.
Negligible, right? up there. Just about. Longest rally we've had so far.
I have to catch my breath.
Oh, she's got there.
She got there.
Brilliant from Mapasa.
And
Angela Yu also keeps her alive, but I thought the Australians were dominating that rally.
That's what they have to take away from that.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful stuff here, but...
And the Indonesians have to take away that they weren't fully deceived.
Yeah. Yeah, positives for both, but I think the Australians will feel a little frustrated.
It was a key point, very early,
Yeah.
but a key point. Because it's a mind games part
Correct.
of the match. If you can win the mind game early, then the rest might just, you know, topple over.
65 shots, longest rally we've had, but yeah, really good to watch.
Because I suspect Mapasa would be choosing when she's going to dive for a shot.
She did a great job there. Ooh. Thought I heard a string, I might be wrong. Great reaction, yeah, it is. It was indeed a string, and they've actually got away with that.
Without the partner coming back.
She held on. It was quite a few shots after that she finally went. And they survived that. I wonder how key these 2 points were. There she goes, and actually it was a great shot from Pratiwi to just keep it alive for Cahaya. Or Kusuma, rather. Winning points like that, the last two, could be such a boost as well for the Indonesians, given that they were up against it, weren't they?
They were, very much. There's so much... well, they're playing opponents who have a creative dimension, or more creative dimension than themselves. So they have to be wary. And they're doing good on the wary front.
That's a cheap point to give away.
Because it's going against instinct for a doubles player. You usually hedge your bets, but they had to not hedge their bets, hold their footwork, and wait for Mapasa to hit.
It's been a tough period, isn't it, for the Australians?
And it would play on Mapasa's mind. She's the creative player. They've been getting it back, but they've been getting it back. Does it make you hit tighter shots?
Right. 6 points on the trot now for the Indonesians. This is an absolute key period. It's running away already.
It is running away. And that would explain why Mapasa hit such a high clear. Tremendously high clear. Another one.
Yeah, very high, that one.
And that's to give herself thinking time, because she's the thinker in her pairing.
Well, they'll be absolutely desperate to break that run, and they've finally done it. Has the damage already been done? We shall see, but there's 7 points on the trot.
In badminton, you never want to play your opponent's tempo. You have to enforce your own tempo. Your tempo could be lower than your opponent's tempo, but you have to enforce your own tempo on your opponent.
Yeah, a couple of points here. They need to go on a run of their own.
That should give Angela Yu good confidence that that's a good shot to play, because she's meant to be the reliable one. She's meant to expect that the shuttle will come back. The fact that she can deceive people, it's a feather in her cap.
It's gone long, and that means we go to the interval with a very decent 5-point lead for the Indonesian pair. It's 11-6 here in the semi-final women's doubles against Mapasa and Yu. Mapasa has never gone beyond the opening round of the Australian Open before, so this is a huge bit of progress here for the Australian. This is Angela Yu's debut in the main tournament, and
12-6.
the Indonesians have never gone beyond the second round in their previous appearances, so all new territory for them.
It's exactly how I thought the match would open initially. So we can see Pratiwi and on the Indonesian side, just powerful in general, keeping it stable. The other side, as optimum as they could be as far as being creative, Indonesians just responded solidly.
Oh, is that staying in? Seven points now. This is starting, this is the biggest lead they've had, starting to look quite difficult against a pairing that got to the semi-finals of the Thailand Masters Indonesians in the first half of the season. One of their best results. Then, of course, Spain Masters, they got to the finals.
So unlike players from China, the Aussies not yet polished on the playing through frustration part. It's something you have to train yourself. Obviously, that means you have to put yourself in that situation. Aussies have been through many difficult matches, taking it in 3, so I'm not exactly worried yet, but they're trying to stay focused, they're trying to polish it, they're still in their development phase.
Nicely put away again, snaffling that one.
14-7.
Kusuma.
Score aside, it's a fight from both sides. I hope the viewers can see that. It's a fight from both sides with different styles.
We also got to the Thai Open final, so these guys have made some steady progression this year outside of some of those early exits.
8-14.
They would dearly love to get their first ever World Tour win under their belt. We contrast that with the Australians.
Well, the Australians very much still believing in their plan. I say believing in their plan because they haven't varied from their plan. And all the badminton disciplines have been cross-pollinating, but because it's cross-pollinating, we think that this is the norm. No, this is the evolution of women's doubles. So it means that they're moving away from exploring the rear court. They can still explore it. They haven't been exploring it actively. They explored it passively when Mapasa did those really high clears, but that's passive. Yes, that's the idea. Just a mishit, but they were exploring more.
15-9.
You know, you and I talked yesterday about, as well, in the recent months, Malaysia Masters, for example, that's a Super 500. They got to the quarters, lost to Palitantina Moralitharan. Then we talked about Nami Matsuyama, Chiharushida, taking them to 3, only losing by 3 in the last game. There's been some steady progress for them, isn't it?
It's steady progress, and you can see it in their world rankings, which just upwards. So they are learning. It's just that while they're learning in a match, it makes us tense as viewers.
Challenge here from the Indonesian pairing. Has it clipped the line? No, it is out.
Challenge unsuccessful.
To
One
the
challenge remaining.
delight of this crowd.
Service over.
Still a long way to go. They're 5 points
10,
behind.
15.
And the first Aussie rings through the key centre in this match. Thought we might hear it a bit earlier.
Well, the Indonesians, to give us some extra perspective, they're very much still on their level 1 plan. Their plan is working. They haven't had to vary so much.
Angela Yu does well.
Service over.
It's going long.
16.
And that would be telling for the Indonesians too, that their plan is working. When your opponent smashes from the doubles rear service line and then still hits out, it's a sign of frustration.
Fault. 17-10.
But the Aussies have been here before. They take time to settle.
But, you know, it's also tough when you haven't really experienced that many semi-finals at the World Tour
Exactly.
level. And then you've got the pressure playing at home.
That's right. So it's not always just about your opponents, but sense of occasion.
And Mapasa does well, but they've got a long road ahead of them. They want to stay in this first game. 6 points behind still.
The key for the Aussies is that they do well when they make good decisions. They have to keep making good decisions and hitting sweet shots. The moments they don't make good decisions is usually when they become self-conscious. So they have to banish that self-consciousness and just continue making good decisions. Even if it doesn't take this game, they have to continue making good decisions.
12-17.
Like the rallies that we saw at the beginning of the match. They didn't win those points, but they were all good decisions.
A couple of points here, but they're not really putting on the kind of run that we saw from the Indonesians. That's
13-17.
this is the best run they've had. 3 points. Behind by 4.
Good light and shade from Angela Yu.
Oh, readjusted there.
Smart shot from Mapasa.
In the end.
In the end, one bad decision cost them.
18-13. Angela is receiving.
Yeah, trouble now for the Indonesians, sorry, for the Australians. 2 points for the Indonesians now to finish this off.
Yes, trouble for them. I know you're saying from a scoreboard pressure point of view, but for me, it's poorer decisions at the end of this game. So mustn't let the decisions go bad.
So there we are now with 7 game points now for Kusuma and Pratiwi.
Mapasa encouraging her partner. She should. She's the captain of the team. She lifts her partner, and she needs her partner to be stable.
Oh, that's just a lovely way to finish off this first game. It's been excellent from the Indonesians, and it was that period, wasn't it, when they were 3-4 down.
That's right.
I put on a 7-point run that took the game away. 21-13, Kusuma Pratiwi on their way in this semi-final match. Reminder, these Australians here, first time they've got into the semi-finals, any Australian, since 2010.
Second game, love all.
No wonder there's so much
really
psychological pressure.
I'm sure that's playing on their mind somewhere.
Service over.
Nicely done from Mapasa there.
There's the power.
Yeah, the power we talked about. Well long on that one, over hit. By the way, it is since 2010, first time Australian representation in the semi-finals, even longer for women's doubles, 15-year wait since we last had Australian representation in this event. The Australians that year
Service
You probably
over.
know them. Huang
1-2.
Chiachi and He Tiantiang. They went on to win it in 2009.
Well, one of the people you mentioned there, the latter, is Angela Yui's mum.
Yeah, so you mentioned it before.
Service over. 3-1.
Yeah, Huang got to the women's singles in 2010.
I did an interview with Angela's mum once, and the impression I got was she really enjoyed many different kinds of doubles partners, which she got a chance in Australia because Australia used her for mixed doubles, for women's doubles,
Right.
across several eras. I must say, Indonesians' play style, or this strategy, quite reminiscent of some Japanese pairs.
Service over. 2-3.
Angela, you did say this feels like a dream. Especially when they won that last point. Everything inside was shaking, she said. Said it was good to be in the semis. That's good.
3-all.
Mapasa gambling on that one. She said it was an extraordinary achievement considering they've only been together for a year to get to these semis.
That's all that upward trajectory.
Yeah.
But that rally we just saw is Mapasa exploring what I talked about, rear court, but you have to explore for longer, like classic women's doubles, longer. I know it's not great TV, long rallies, but
4-3.
it would change the rhythm of the match, or at least that rally. And they need something different, just for a little while, before they can go back. They will instinctively always go back to being creative and having good decisions, but meanwhile, while you're waiting for inspiration, maybe some classic women's doubles strategy won't go astray. High clears straight, high clears cross court, that kind of thing.
The Indonesians started to put on a bit of a run here. That will be a concern for the Australians.
6-3.
5 in a row now.
The way you gave back that shuttle tells me she's frustrated in a new way, as in they've come back from this kind of situation before, but perhaps this doesn't feel like before. There's something different that the Indonesian pair are proposing to them
7-3.
that makes it feel like they might not come back in a second game.
Yeah, this has got strong shades already of what happened in the first game, in the opening part of it. And that's when it ran away from the Australians.
And SATHIO and Angela, don't walk around. Get ready.
There's kind of a listlessness going on now with them, the Australians.
I had a chuckle because Mapasa is using her experience. She's giving herself time to think. She's a thinker.
It's a procession of points at the moment for the Indonesians.
And one of the things I reckon Mapasa is thinking about is, how do I get us out of this situation? How do I lift Angela? Do I take Angela's shot? Do I not take Angela's shot? Do I let Angela slowly, you know, revive? Lots of things go through the mind of the playmaker and captain of a pairing.
Umpire's just told her to get ready quicker. Wow, this has been very impressive from the Indonesian pair. In a row. And I'm not even sure they would want the interval right now. The Indonesians are playing that well. But it's probably a welcome break for the Australians, who need to turn this around immediately. 3-11 down. They're already trailing by a game as well. It's looking good for Kusuma and Pratiwi. Well, something that Mapasa said about yesterday's match, which was a 3-game thriller, was that the two Australians and their coach never really believed, never accepted that that match was over. They kept fighting. That was a key. And they said the fans helped them. They've got to inject some self-belief. Maybe the fans just get behind them. It's gotten a bit quiet near the key centre, but most importantly, it's the stuff on the court right now, Aaron.
Indeed. I think the sense of occasion thing is, yeah, something that plays on your mind. Wouldn't say they're actively thinking about it, but you work so hard, you want to put in a better showing.
Yeah, because
now that you've come this far.
Yeah, Angela Yu was very expansive on what she felt the crowd was doing and how helpful it was to her.
Service over.
So it really, really helped, especially when they were making mistakes. Now that was the first point that they have scored in 12. It is effectively 11-1 at the moment in points in the last 12.
Very good from Kusuma and Pratiwi, keeping the counter offense into the three-quarter court.
Service over.
Now they need to embark upon a very special run here, the kind that Kusuma and Pratiwi have had twice in this match.
I like that for the Indonesians. It's active counter offense. Sometimes when I watch a Japanese pair, it's too much just muscle memory without thinking of the intention, but the Indonesian pair, very intentional. Even more intentional now that they're so far ahead.
Service over.
They seem, at the moment, unable to really repel the Indonesians. And the lead is now into double figures.
It's the right shot.
16-5.
No.
But in two minds, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, it's not really working out at the moment.
I still say that was one of the better rallies in this second game. We saw in the men's doubles earlier, even though there was such a big gulf between the quality of the Indonesians and Chinese Taipei, intentional was thumbs up to that for the Chinese Taipei players. So they want to stay intentional even if they're behind the Aussies.
Service over.
Free for a spite here for the Australians.
17.
Now the crowd trying to do whatever they can.
The crowd have seen glimpses of their full potential, the Aussies, in the first game.
Service over. 18.
And when they do get the odd point here and there, they're just not able to do anything with it. No consecutive runs, no sustained pressure. Just few and far between at the moment, aren't they?
Few and far between. But as I said, I really like intentional. Instinct for good decision making is built across matches and games and this kinds of situation. Doesn't mean that even if you're behind, you can't take something from it. You have to keep making good decisions. Otherwise, in future, when you're behind, how will you make good decisions? You've never done it before, so there's still work to be done.
Oh, it's good. Oh, she's going to challenge this, Mapasa. It's probably one of those rather more hopeful ones, which you can understand. And it's very clearly in. I think pretty much everyone knew that was going to be the case.
One challenge remaining. Service over. 19-7.
Oh, we should highlight again that this is a revenge match for the Indonesians.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there is an element of unfinished business from losing the last time that they met.
Press too hard, but right shot.
20.
And in a blink of an eye, we have got 13 match points here. Well, it comes to an ignominious end here for this Australian pair that created some history. First Australian representation in this tournament since 2010. Ends in a little bit of a damp square, Baron.
Well, I wished for more too. I really thought it could go to a third.
Worked hard, but this Indonesian pair far too good and avenged their loss from a few months ago, the only unbeaten pair in the Swiss Open. An emphatic win for Kusuma and Pratiwi. The Indonesian second seeds beat Setiana Mapasa and Angela Yu 21-13, 21-7. It's taken them 37 minutes to do it. Coming up next, it is men's doubles. He Jiting and Rung Xiang Yu, the top seeds from China, will play Chung Hun Jian and Mohammad Haikal, the Malaysian third seeds.